Hello, welcome back to Ride Rescue and another episode of the Ram 1500 build. I'm starting to get the back window ready to go back into the cab. The cab channel area is all prepped and ready to go. Now I need to get the glass ready, and when I removed the glass, these little pieces are just on with double stick tape. I want to put these back on. It didn't break any of them, luckily. I'm going to use a 3M Fast Tack trim adhesive, and I'll just re-stick these back on the way they were. One thing I'm noticing is both of these corners, when I cut this away from the cab, I split this plastic piece. So I'm going to have to kind of slide some adhesive underneath that to seal it up so that I don't end up with a water leak or just caulk along this edge. But I'll have to do that before I install it while it's still wet. And I also want to clean out this channel. This plastic channel, I chewed away at it right here, so I've got some spots where there's no adhesive. If the adhesive was smooth all the way around, I would just leave it alone, but there's a couple of areas where I dug down through it, so I want to make sure this seals, especially along the top. And the common problem that I'm finding with these is this plastic is cracking. These are being recalled, or I don't know if it's actually a recall or if they're covering it under warranty. So I checked mine, and sure enough, mine is cracked as well. So it's not likely that I'll be able to get the manufacturer to replace this. Since it's been removed, all I have to do is say, well, whoever removed it broke it. But I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to see what I can do, because it's pretty frustrating that these are cracking, and it's a common problem. Bought the sealant online because of the virus and what's going on in the world, and not really wanting to go to any store face to face. Looks like it got damaged in shipping, and it looks like it might have broken the seal. I'm hoping it's not all cured and set up inside. We'll see once I crack that open. The tip that comes with it, I had to use it as a guide so that I could open up the hole in my caulking gun. It wasn't big enough for this large diameter, and I just used a grinder and ground that out. So now I can get this in there. There's a couple of guides. Couldn't really see them. They were really faint, so I traced them with a Sharpie so you can see the recommended shape for the wedge that you put a bead around the seal. So I'm going to just trim that off. I also trimmed the tip off, which I shouldn't have. You use that tip to puncture the front of this. So that's gone, so I'll have to use something else. Live and learn. But I'll go ahead and cut this away. Now I got my wedge shape. I will puncture. Probably be able to still use this to puncture it. Nope. I'll just cut an X in it, and I'll use some of this adhesive. I want to push it underneath this edge. As long as it oozes out, I know I got enough in there. All right, I'm gonna break the seal. I'm sure I'm ready. I'm gonna get some gloves on. Looks good in there. It's a tight fit, but it does fit. Typically you would use a primer to go around the new glass and the original seal, especially if there's been any changes. But since I still have a generous coating of the original sealant still on the body of the truck, I don't feel the need to go back and prime any of the surface. The same thing with the glass itself. It's actually all plastic on the inside, and that plastic also has a residue of the original sealant. So I don't feel the need to prime either one of them. It definitely would be best to use a power gun. This is really thick stuff. It's hard to get out. Yeah, this is not going to be easy with this type of gun. I poked that hole as big as I can make it, but it's still really difficult to get through. This is not good. As hot as it is out here today, this stuff could set up before I get it all on there. The old saying goes, you're only as good as your tools. There's no way I can have this on in time and have it not be too cured. It's too slow. It's not setting up that fast. If I could just get it out of the tube, I just can't get it out. I paid $14 for this. I think it retails for around $35. I don't feel too bad about giving it a try and wasting 15 bucks. Live and learn. You gotta have good tools. Okay, got a better tool. Round 2, let's try this again. I'm not very good at it, but it's working. My lighting is horrible. Just see shadows, all this black. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm gonna get my gloves off. I knew I was gonna do that. I took my gloves off. Got handprints all over. Now that the back glass is in, I want to get all of this back together. I ordered a bunch of parts. This piece I was going to order new. It's all gouged up from glass, and when I was taking the seat out it really tore it up. But it's like $45 and it pretty much covers up these scratches, so I'm going to live with it. This piece goes right here on the bottom. It's got some stress cracks in it and some broken tabs, so I did order a new piece for that. This piece, which holds the latch for that little flip out extender, which is kind of unique, it was all scratched up, but then I broke it getting it out. That was only $25 for a little piece of plastic. It seems a little bit much, but it's not that bad. So I've got a new piece of that, and then the seal that goes around this edge was missing when I got the truck. I assumed it was damaged, or they just pulled it off and didn't throw it in the truck. There's a lot of missing parts to this, and a lot of miscellaneous bolts and pieces. But I have everything finally now, so I can put this corner together and get this seat in. I left the bolts in loosely for all these areas. Makes it much easier to find them. I don't have to go searching through bags. I do have everything bagged and tagged that I couldn't just put back in. Go ahead and put this corner in. This corner piece needs to go in before the seat. Nice, all the clips are there. Now I know from the other side there's a seam that goes along here somewhere. A little side piece. Awesome. Now everything is in. I can drop in the seat, hook up the seat belts, plug it in. Got 2 bolts in the back. I've got a seat belt. There's 2 bolts in that, and then I've got 2 bolts here in the front. I'm noticing there's some pieces in the back here that I need to put in to mount to the back wall. And I have to see about that first. I can hear glass crunching in those rails. I'm gonna have to get cleaned out. And yeah, there's a back panel that has really strong magnets, and it's got some guide pins. That's going to be pretty simple. And then we've got a seat belt I've got to hook up. It's down there. The seat actually snaps into the back wall. It has a pull cord and a alignment. There we go. All right, one last piece, and that's the, yeah, I'll show you. So this optional piece is in backwards. Okay, I got that end in. Now it looks like I may be able to fish this in here without having to take it apart. It's got to go underneath. Ah, I got it. I believe all the glass that fell out all over my floor. I'll just keep throwing it out here then. Anyway, enough about the glass. So this little optional piece, this I think was $250 option. Kind of an expensive little option. And there you go. You got a little place to store some stuff under the seat, or you flop it down and flop it up and you got more storage space under the seat. Kind of an expensive piece for what you get, but it's nice to have to hide things underneath there. Tighten up these bolts and this interior is done. Nice.